People looked up to you. And human nature being what it is, that's what people like. I mean, you knew you were a lifeguard at Jones Beach, and people would look at you, and you'd have that uniform on. You had a certain amount of respect, and you didn't want to do anything that would bring shame to it or anything like that. And that's why when you got off the stand, the lieutenant made darn sure that you took your uniform off. You had to drop it down and just become part of the crowd. And when you got back down the stand, you put your uniform on, you went back up on the stand, and you were Jones Beach lifeguard again. There were a lot of rules and regulations. You couldn't go very far from your stand when you got a break. And when you sat on the stand, God forbid you ever talk to a girl. Of course, you wanted to. You'd be looking off to the side here, and then you'd have to keep your eyes on the water. The lieutenant would come down and say, "Jonesy, get your eyes on the water." I'd say, "Right." You'd have to keep looking out there. And then there were some days were bitter, though. You didn't want to be up on the stand. It was cold and the wind blowing, and you'd have a blanket wrapped around you, and you'd have to sit there and do your duty anyway, in case somebody wanted to come down and go for a swim. You had to be there. I remember going out one time with the line. We would tow a line from the beach, a 1/4-inch line that fed out of out of these old wooden buckets. And on the way out there, I was going after a young girl. There was an older gent over to the side of me, and had a heavy Jewish accent. And he hollered, "Lifeguard, lifeguard, help, help me." So I said to my friend, "Go get the girl, I'll grab the old dude." So I swam over to him. He didn't see that I had a line on. And I said, "Take it easy, I got you." We're out about a football field, 100 yards out. I don't know how he got out there, but he was out there. And so anyway, I said, "Okay, just take it easy, Pop, I got you." I rolled him over, put a cross chest on him, and I took my hand off with the line, and I waved it a couple of times, and we had 3 or 4 lifeguards pull us in. Well, we went in like a speedboat. And this guy, when I hit the beach, I let go of the rope, and my shoulder hit the beach, and I popped him up. I says, "There, Pop, you're okay." He says, "My God, what a lifeguard. Did you see this guy swim?" I said, "Oh, yeah, we try to stay in shape, Pop." I said, "We're okay." He says, "It was like a motorboat. I'd never seen a boy pull like this in my life." Maybe if that guy's still walking around, he's probably saying, "There was a lifeguard once grabbed me, and we went in like a motorboat." But I never told him. And then we have crazy things happen at the beach too, like people losing things. They lose eyeglasses, they lose toupees, they lose their teeth. One old guy came up to me one time and he said, "Lifeguard, I lost my entire set of teeth. Can you help me?" It was a turbulent ocean. I said, "How are we going to find this?" But anyway, I gave the guy the courtesy of going down, and I said, "Okay, where were you?" He said, "Oh, I dove in there." He said, my choppers are in there." I said, "Well," I wanted to give him at least the courtesy of making an effort, so I dove in. I just scraped my hand, and lo and behold, I came up with his teeth. He took it as a very that was average, I said, "Here's your teeth." It was 1 in a million. Well, Bob Moses used to love to come to the beach. He'd come down there because I think he took pride in it. That was part of his whole mistake of what he built. But at any rate, he came down one day, and the word went out Moses was on the beach. As it did usually when he came down, the word spread that Robert Moses was on the beach. I don't know what we're supposed to do, but he was there. And this one particular day, he walked down, and one of the rules we have is that you don't tie or hang a towel on the lifeguard stand. Well, he come down and threw his towel over this lifeguard stand. And the lifeguard on duty said, "Hey, get that off here." Well, he turned around, looked at him. He says, "Hey, I'm talking to you. Get that off here." The guy says, "You know who I am?" He says, "No, I don't know who you are, and I don't care. Get that towel off here." Well, one word brought another. I don't know the exact words, but the next day, that lifeguard was banished. He went off to some other beach. I never looked at that job as a job, not work. I enjoyed going to work. I enjoyed getting down there, seeing the guys, getting on the stand, making the rescues. It was all part of the whole mystique of the place. And when I came back if I talked to someone, they'd say, "Well, what do you do, Jonesy?" I'd say, "Well, I'm a Jones Beach lifeguard." So, oh wow, you know, and it had a real it had real meaning.